What is up, everybody? My name is Hyken, and this is the Endgame XM1. Oh my god, imagine if that hit him. Before we get started, please do remember to check out my socials, drop a like, and subscribe if you're enjoying the video, and that's about it. Alright, let's get into it. This is an ultra-light ambidextrous mouse. No holes here, this is a solid shell, but they do manage to keep the weight down. The box says 70, but my scale places it at about 72, 73, but that's probably because of the cable, so all good there. In the box, you get the mouse and an information slip. That's it. It would have been nice to get some extra feet in the box because I know that this mouse is pretty popular for paracord enthusiasts. I know that I'm going to be paracording this mouse as well, so having those extra feet right out of the box would have been a really nice touch. At the time of recording, December 19th, this mouse is currently at about $80 on Amazon. I got it for $60, and I know that you can get it for $60 elsewhere. I will see what I can find and drop those links down in the description below for you. Definitely do check back on Amazon though, because I would imagine that it'll probably go back down to about $60 after the holidays. Physical build quality feels really good, but there is a little bit of rattle on the inside. I'm not a fan of the coating or the material or whatever they used for the outside of the mouse. It absorbs finger oils like crazy. It's definitely not a matte or glossy finish because I haven't had any problems with finger oils on matte finishes, and it's not getting fingertip imprints or anything like that like a glossy mouse would. It's some kind of rubbery finish. It's very similar to the G-Wolf's Hottie. This doesn't make the mouse any harder to grip for me, but it's definitely something that's pretty noticeable, so that does kind of detract away from the overall value of this mouse for me. This cable is just a rubber cable, nothing really too fancy about it. It's not even braided or anything like that, so kind of a miss here in my book. It is angled upward coming out of the mouse, so that does help with cable drag, and even when the cable itself is on the mouse pad, the drag really isn't too noticeable. So overall, this is a fine cable, but it's really nothing great. I'm definitely going to be paracording this. I already have the cable ordered, the extra feet, all that's ordered. I will probably be doing that sometime in the middle of January or so, whenever I get the materials for it. I'll be doing that live on Twitch, so make sure that you're followed over there so you don't miss it. That's twitch.tv/HIK1N. Be there or be square. One of my favorite things about this mouse is the buttons. The left and right mouse button feel really satisfying, and the thumb buttons also are very nice and clicky. There is a little bit of pre-travel on each of the buttons, not very much on the mouse 1 and mouse 2, but on the thumb buttons there is a little bit more. I'd like to see a little bit less of that, but you really don't notice it at all. The scroll wheel tension and the scroll wheel click both feel fantastic. I think that this scroll wheel tension is actually about perfect for me. Alright, enough talking. Let's hear a sound test. Super satisfying, right? These are kind of thick. I like it. On the bottom of the mouse, you get these PTFE feet, which are definitely not the best feet that I've used, but honestly, anything PTFE is a huge step up over Teflon feet for me. On the bottom of the mouse, we also have the pulling rate /DPI button. If you tap the button, it'll change the DPI, and if you hold it, it'll change the pulling rate. This mouse is rocking the PMW3389 sensor, which is absolutely fantastic. I had no problems at all with this. Everything worked beautifully. Tracking, flick shots, all of that was absolutely fantastic. You can't go wrong with this sensor. I mean, come on. Let's talk about the shape, because this is another thing that this mouse does really well. For reference, my hand is about 17.5 centimeters long and about 8 centimeters wide. Measurements for the mouse should be up on the screen right about now. I use a relaxed claw grip most of the time, and that worked beautifully on this mouse. I would also say that true claw grip and fingertip grip also work really great on this mouse, but palm grip is where things get a little bit iffy. I found that the most comfortable way for me to do it was to bend my pinky and my ring finger, and that wasn't always very comfortable. So I would say that this mouse is just a little bit too small to be palm gripped properly. If you like having your pinky and your ring finger straight, this might not be the mouse for you because I couldn't really fit them on the mouse very comfortably. There's also software for this mouse, but it's very bare bones. You can't change the button functions, which kind of sucks. You can just disable them, which I don't know why anybody would want to do that with any of the buttons, so that part of the software is kind of a miss for me. You can also go in and change the DPI, the liftoff distance, and enable or disable ripple control, which you'll only really want if you're using a high DPI. And I stick to 800 pretty much, as you can probably see. So I never really use that, but if you do use a high DPI, that's definitely something to be aware of. Out of the box, you get 400, 800, 1600, and 3200 DPI, but you can change all of those just like I did. This is definitely not the best software that I've used. I am really disappointed that I can't change button functions or anything like that, but it's nice to have, so at least you can do some of these things. Overall, this mouse is absolutely fantastic. The weight is about perfect for me, the shape is great for me, and the clicks are super satisfying. I really enjoy this mouse. I'm really not bothered by the lack of any lighting on this. I would honestly rather just have the couple of grams shaved off and miss out on the lighting. It's not super missed for me. The software really isn't great, but that is something that they can upgrade in the future, and I really hope that they do. If you're not a palm gripper and you have small to medium hands, this is a really great option for you and definitely something that I think should be on your radar heading into 2020. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for me. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Turning on that notification bell also really helps me out, so consider doing that as well. Alright, I will see you all in the next one. Peace!